On December 29, 2010, everyone in Iowa was on the edge of their seats, waiting for the hot lotto drawing. The grand prize was up to $16.5 million. If you won, even after the greedy government takes their cut in the form of taxes, it is still life-changing money. And even though the chances of winning were only 1 in 11 million, you have a higher chance of dying in a plane crash?
Hey, you never know.
But that night, someone had actually done it. They won the whole thing. The mystery winner had managed to match every number right down to the bonus number: 3, 12, 16, 26, 33, and 11. A 1 in 11 million chance. Local news headlines became flooded with the stories about the $16.5 million winner. That lucky son of a... But there was just one problem. The winner wasn't coming forward. Most people who find out they just became an overnight millionaire would claim their money as quickly as possible. But strangely enough, no one showed up with the winning ticket. Every day, the Iowa lottery told people to double check their tickets because someone had just become filthy rich.
Well, it's been almost a month since we had announced that we had a hot lotto, $16.5 million hot lotto winner. The Iowa lottery has been looking and asking for everyone to please check their tickets. And as a CEO, I wanted to announce that I believe that the person who has purchased or owns this ticket, we believe probably doesn't know that they have it.
But slowly, as the days turned into months, no one came to claim their fortune. Of course, some people tried to claim the money. Some claimed they won, but their ticket had been lost or stolen. Others even tried to say those exact numbers were the lucky numbers of their friend who had just died in a car accident, and that golden ticket must have been in the car with them. No matter what they tried, the lottery officials would tell them the same thing every single time. If they didn't have the exact 15-digit serial number on the back of the winning ticket, they were not going to get the money.
Oh, come on!
Almost a full year went by and the winner still didn't show their face. And the thing about this lottery ticket is that it was only valid for 1 year, so time was running out. If the lottery was going to claim their millions, they would have to do it real quick. And that's when they got the call. A man named Philip Johnson said that he was the $16.5 million winner, and he had the 15-digit serial number on the back of the ticket to prove it. The only strange thing was that he said he was living in Canada at the time and that he was too sick to pick up his winnings, so he wanted the money to be sent to him instead. Unfortunately for him, Iowa doesn't allow people to claim lottery prizes without showing up in person, no matter the circumstances. And wasn't the story just a little bit too good to be true? The mystery winner shows up days before the ticket expires and claims he was too sick for an entire year to come pick up the $16.5 million? The lottery official started getting really suspicious, so she decided to give the caller a little test. Unbeknownst to the public, the Iowa lottery actually had CCTV footage of the winner buying the ticket at a Quick Trip gas station in Des Moines. So she asked him a simple question. What did he wear the day he bought the $1 million ticket? His answer wasn't even close, so they refused to give him the prize. But they never forgot this strange incident. You see, Philip Johnson, the wannabe lottery winner, later confessed that a businessman named Robert Rhodes had asked him to claim the ticket for him. But even Rhodes said he had nothing to do with it. Then just 2 hours before the ticket expires, 2 lawyers showed up in person at the Iowa lottery office holding the winning tickets. The lawyers said they were there to pick up the prize on behalf of their anonymous client. The client requested the money to be paid to Hexam Investments, which turned out to be owned by none other than Philip Johnston, the man who tried to claim the prize over the phone a month earlier. Again, the officials refused, and now they were more suspicious than ever. Who had really bought that ticket? It would take them another 2 years to find out, and what they uncovered ended up being more shocking than they could have ever imagined. My name is Jake Tran, and we make documentaries on money, power, war, and crime so that you can see the world for what it really is. A giant game of acquiring power. You can't get out of this game either way, so instead of being a victim, why not learn to be a better player? Your parents, teachers, friends, society will never teach you any of this, so we're going to. Stay dangerous, and this is the biggest lottery fraud in American history. Lotteries are predatory. They play on our psychology to suck us dry of our hard-earned money. But what if lottery psychology could be used for good? What if lottery psychology could be used to incentivize you to save money and build wealth instead of keeping you poor? Well, that is where YADA comes in. YADA is the future of savings accounts. It's a high-interest FDIC-insured savings account, meaning that the government guarantees your money up to $250,000, just like any other savings account. But the real game changer is that YADA incentivizes you to save more by paying you interest in prizes. And because they set it up this way, you not only get the protections of a regular boring savings account, but you also get the chance to win $10 million every single week. The more money you save, the higher your chances of winning. That's why Yada calls it a no-lose lottery. And your chances of winning is actually pretty high. Every single week, around 40% of users win a prize on average, and Yada has already paid out over $9 million in prizes, like Crystal, Catherine, and Leanne, who all won nearly $40,000 each, or Frankie and Mark, who both won a Tesla Model 3. All you have to do is click the link below to sign up, then you deposit as little as $25 into your account, and with every $25 you put in, you earn one ticket every single week. So a $100 deposit equals 4 tickets. Every week, Yada draws 7 randomly generated numbers, and depending on how many numbers you match, you can win anywhere from 10 cents to $10 million. And what's great is that you literally can't lose. They set it up in a way where users earn 1.5% on average in your FDIC insured account, even if you don't win any of the big prizes, which is already way higher than other savings accounts. Plus, your account is protected by bank-grade encryption. And I'm friends with the founders, they're great guys. Literally everyone should be using Yada, and the more time you waste not using Yada, the more money you're losing out on. So start using the feature of savings accounts by pausing the video and clicking the link below to sign up. Click the link below to play the no-lose lottery now. Thanks to Yada for sponsoring this video.
With so many people using every trick in the book to get their hands on the $16.5 million, the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation and the Attorney General decided to get involved. They were going to solve the mystery once and for all, and the easiest way to do that would be to release all the evidence they had to the public, including the CCTV video of the winner. And it didn't take long for the video to go viral.
This afternoon, we're releasing the surveillance video from the Quick Trip store where the Hot Lotto ticket was purchased in December of 2010.
The CCTV video of the mystery ticket buyer got so popular that it eventually landed in the lap of Ed Stefan, an employee of the Multi-State Lottery Association, also known as MUSL. The moment he heard the voice in the video, it hit him like a ton of bricks. He knew who it was. He knew who had bought the winning ticket. It was Eddie Tipton, head of IT security for the MUSL, aka the guy who was in charge of keeping the lottery fair and secure for multiple states and games, including Hot Lotto. To be sure, Stefan played the audio for another colleague without showing her the video. Almost immediately, the coworker asked, quote, "Why am I listening to a tape of Eddie talking?" End quote. And if that wasn't enough, one of Eddie Tipton's good friends and colleagues heard the voice and swore it was him. But before Ed Stefan reported Eddie, he had to be absolutely positive. So he used audio software to remove all the other noise from the audio except the buyer's voice and compared it to a video of Eddie talking. Then he went to the actual Quick Trip store where the winning ticket was purchased to measure the height of the shelves and width of the tiles to match it against Eddie's size. He was hoping that he was dead wrong, that his coworker wasn't the man in the tape. He wanted all his research to exonerate Eddie, but instead, it was the nail in his coffin. There was no doubt about it. The man buying the winning ticket in the video was Eddie Tipton. As an MUSL employee, it was illegal for Eddie to participate in any lottery game. At first, they assumed that's why he tried so hard to get other people to claim the winning ticket for him. But then, they started doing a little digging and things got confusing. Eddie Tipton had been working at the MUSL for years. He did things like create software and install security systems onto MUSL computers. A big part of his job was reviewing security for different lottery games around the country and coding the program that picks the random numbers of the lottery jackpot. Eddie worked around 60 hours per week and earned $100K per year. But the weird thing was that he managed to buy a brand new house for over $500,000 all by himself. That didn't really match his budget. And when they brought Eddie in for questioning, he swore he wasn't the mystery ticket buyer. He insisted that he wasn't even in the state of Iowa on the day the ticket was purchased, but his phone records told a different story. Not only did his phone place him in Iowa on the day the ticket was bought, it also showed that he spoke to none other than businessman Robert Rhodes for 71 minutes on the same night. You remember him, right? The guy that asked the other guy to claim the ticket for him? It didn't take police long to discover that Robert Rhodes and Eddie Tipton were actually best friends. They even took vacations together. That's how close they were. Slowly, the picture was coming together, and police were now 100% sure that Eddie Tipton had somehow rigged the lottery to win. They just didn't know how. So, they arrested Eddie Tipton and charged him with 2 counts of fraud. One for trying to fraudulently claim the winning ticket and one for manipulating the lottery to win. The jury didn't care that it was all circumstantial evidence. They were just as convinced as the prosecutors that Eddie did it. and on July 20th, 2015, he was found guilty and sentenced to 10 years in prison. Eddie quickly appealed and remained free on bail. Everyone involved thought that would be the end of the story. Little did they know, it was only the beginning. The prosecutors offered Eddie Tipton plea deal after plea deal to tell them how he rigged the lottery, but he wouldn't talk. They were just about to cut their losses and move on when they received a strange anonymous tip. All the caller said was, quote, "Hey, do y'all know Eddie Tipton's brother won the lottery about 10 years ago somewhere west, maybe Colorado?" End quote. And just like that, the case crossed state lines. What was one isolated case of fraud suddenly started unraveling into something much bigger. First, they found that Eddie's brother Tommy had won over a $550K jackpot prize in the Colorado lottery in 2005. One of Tommy's friends said he actually tried to trade him the new dollar bills for crumpled old ones after winning. That raised some red flags, so the FBI brought him in for an interview, but Tommy managed to explain it away by telling them that he was hiding the winnings from his wife amidst a bitter divorce. They couldn't see any reason not to believe him. But then the plot thickened. It turned out that 2 years later, somebody had won over $780K in the Wisconsin lottery, and those winnings were paid out to a company. And that company was owned by none other than Mr. Robert Rhodes, Eddie's best friend. Then on November 23, 2011, a year after the Iowa lottery winning, a man named Kyle Kahn claimed a prize of $1.2 million in the Oklahoma lottery. But he wasn't a regular lottery player either, and he specifically picked his own numbers instead of having them randomly generated. When Eddie Tipton's phone records were investigated, it showed he had Kyle Kahn's number in his contacts. The deeper investigators looked, the more lottery winners they found in Eddie Tipton's phone contacts, and many of them didn't even know they were committing a crime. They thought they were just playing Eddie's lucky numbers for him or picking up the prize because he couldn't play with his job title. They were just pawns in Eddie's game. And the longer he got away with it, the more brazen Eddie became. At one point in the investigation, anyone who'd won the lottery anywhere looked suspicious, because anyone could have gotten information from or had been helping Eddie. But even with all this evidence showing that Eddie was running a multi-state lottery rigging scheme, they still couldn't figure out how he pulled it off. That was until 2017, when the truth behind his master plan came to light. The FBI finally found what they were looking for. They were investigating the random number generator used to pick the winning numbers for Wisconsin's lottery. Here's how it worked, for educational purposes only, nothing more. Step 1. Become an expert at coding and get a job at the Lottery Association. The reason Tipton could pull off such an incredible scheme was because of his job. It gave him the access he needed to rig the system from the inside. Step 2. Get probability on your side. The chance of winning the lottery is practically next to impossible. That's why you'll have to improve your luck with a few lines of clever code. But you can't just go in and make it super obvious that you changed the random number generator's code to win on certain numbers. So, you give the random number generator a particular set of conditions for winning that nobody would ever notice. On Wednesdays and Saturdays that landed on May 27th, November 22nd, or December 29th, if the drawing was after 8 p.m., the range of possible number combos the generator could pick dropped significantly. So at these precise times, the odds of winning go from around 1 in 5 million to 1 in 200, if you knew the magic numbers. Step 3. Sit back and wait for your lucky day. When the day comes, play your lucky numbers and get ready to win some money. Maybe you'd win a few thousand, maybe a few 100,000, and if you were really lucky that day, like Eddie Tipton was back in 2010, you could walk away with the grand prize. It's that easy. Once investigators found the code and realized how Eddie pulled it off, he finally agreed to tell them everything. Eddie said he didn't mean to create the biggest lottery fraud in history. It just kinda happened. One day at work, a coworker jokingly asked him if he put any special numbers in the generator, since he's the one who wrote the software. And that's when he got the idea. At first, he just did it to see if it would work and if he could get away with it. He tampered with the security camera so that nobody could see what he was doing, and installed some self-deleting software code that would allow him to hypothetically predict the winning lotto numbers on certain days. Then he waited until November 23, 2005, when his brother, Tommy Tipton, won his first big jackpot. After that, Eddie just couldn't stop. Winning was just too addictive. Eddie saw himself as a sort of lottery Robin Hood. He insisted it was basically his responsibility to use his newfound gift and help the people around him, taking money from the greedy government and giving it back to the people, a noble pursuit. So he would give winning numbers to people like his brother and Robert Rhodes. But as much as Eddie wanted to be the good guy, investigators had a different opinion of him.
I regret my actions. Sorry for the people I hurt.
On July 12, 2017, Eddie pled guilty to theft by fraud and computer crime. In the end, he admitted to defrauding the United States out of over $24 million, including the $16.5 million that he never got the chance to claim. He rigged lottery's games in Iowa, Colorado, Wisconsin, Kansas, and Oklahoma. For his crimes, Eddie was sentenced to 25 years in prison. But in reality, only a few weeks before the release of the video you're watching right now, Eddie got out on parole after serving only 5 years. He was actually supposed to get out in February 2022, but his parole was postponed after he got into a fight with a fellow inmate. And all his co-conspirators? His brother Tommy Tipton was sent to jail for 75 days. Philip Johnston, the man who initially tried to claim the ticket, entered an agreement with the state of Iowa that protected him from any charges. It's believed that he didn't know exactly what he was participating in, and Robert Rhodes ended up getting 6 months of house arrest after he agreed to testify against Eddie. And all the money? Well, most of it is gone. Eddie and Tommy spent the majority of their illegal winnings on lawyers and real estate, most of which is conveniently now owned by their mother, LaWanda Tipton. Tommy and Eddie were ordered to pay over $2 million in restitution for their crimes, and even though they own nearly $2 million in property, the Tipton brothers have paid less than $1,300 since their conviction. So as it turns out, Eddie Tipton did actually get away with hacking the lottery. So learn from Eddie. If you're gonna do anything remotely sketchy at all, small simple things like your phone records could be the death of you.
And don't forget, if you want a chance at actually winning some money, up to $10 million, while building your wealth at the same time, you've got to sign up for YADA, the future of savings accounts. With YADA, your money is guaranteed by the government up to $250,000 just like any other savings account, but they took all this effective lottery psychology to incentivize you to save money instead of wasting it on lotteries. I've met the founders, they're great guys, and I've already won some money with them after depositing money in YADA for only like a week or two. It's a really cool app and company. And remember, you can't lose compared to other government lotteries. They set it up in a way where users earn 1.5% on average in your FDIC insured account, which is already way higher than other savings accounts. Literally everyone should be using YADA, and the more time you waste not using YADA, the more money you're losing out on. So start using the future of savings accounts by pausing the video and clicking the link below to sign up. Click the link below to play the No Lose Lottery now. Thanks again to YADA for sponsoring this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you're new here, my name is Jake, and this is one of the biggest channels on YouTube for documentaries on money, power, war, and crime, so make sure you click that subscribe button below. You can follow me on Instagram at JakeTran for a chance to win $1,000, and you can follow me on Facebook too if you want shorter versions of these videos. But that's gonna wrap it up. Stay dangerous out there, and I will see you guys in the next one.